Hello, my name is Brian Morgan. I'm a student at Metropolitan Community College, currently enrolled in the Cisco Networking Academy, and today I'd like to talk to you about subnetting. The topics we'll be covering today: identifying the address class, identifying the subnet mask, calculating a custom subnet mask, calculating your network address, calculating the lowest and highest host addresses, calculating a broadcast address, determining a host range, and finally a few methods to check your work. Okay, to get started, we'll take a look at the IP address we were given, 192.168.1.0. Next, we'll take a look at our address class table. Looking at the first octet in our IP, we'll take a look here. 1 through 127 is a class A. 128 through 191 is a class B. 192 through 223 is a class C. And we see ours begins with a 192, so we know it's a class C. Next, we'll figure out our default subnet mask. Looking at the class C, we see that it's a 255.255.255.0, also known as a /24. Next, we'll figure out the host and subnets needed. For this presentation, we're going to use 60 hosts and 4 subnets. The method I like to use is I like to write out the network portion of the IP address, and then for the host, I make 8 big zeros. After doing that, I'll fill them in with a bit value for each one. Starting with 1 and going by powers of 2. After I have my bit values entered, I'll come down below and start with my host. Starting with 2, also using the power of 2s. Okay, now I got my hosts up there. I'll put my subnets up above. Okay, if we go back to screen, we'll see we needed 60 hosts and 4 subnets. So we look down below at our host column. And we see right here was 64. Up above at subnets, here's the 4. So we'll draw a line in between, knowing that our hosts are on the bottom to the right and our subs are on the top to the left. So we got 64 hosts and 4 subnets. And this right here is going to be what the value we increment by. So now we can write out our address. Now we know we're going to increment by 64, so we can fill in the rest of the table here. We know that 256 is not possible. So 192 is going to be our last network address. Now that we have these filled out, we can fill out the rest. We'll subtract 1 from .64 and give us a .63. Subtract 1 from 128 and give us a 127. These will be our broadcast addresses. And all these will be our network addresses. Now we can fill in between and get our host IP addresses. And all we're doing is adding one to each one of these network addresses. Then subtracting one from our broadcast. And all these will be our host IPs. Now we can fill in this side of our column. We know that we had a Class C. Our default subnet mask was a /24. Custom subnet mask. We know we started with a -24. So we look here at the bits borrowed. We borrowed 2 bits, so we'll add 2 to 24 and give us our /26, which is our new custom subnet mask. Now our host. We had 64 hosts. We'll take our host number, subtract it by 2, and get 62 total hosts. 62 host IPs, and then the host addresses and the broadcast addresses. Subnets will have 4. Now a few ways to check your calculations. First one, the first host address always ends with an odd number. We'll take a look at our host addresses. They all end with an odd number. Second, last host address always ends with an even number. Take a look here. All of our host IPs end with an even number. The last network always equals the value of bits borrowed. Take a look at our last network address here, .192. The bits borrowed, bit 128 and bit 64. If you add them together, it equals 192. And last, host value times subnet value always equals 256. Our host value, which was 64, and our subnet value, which was 4, times them together, and you'll equal 256. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.